Mahira Khan, always such a pleasure. How are you?
Good.
You know,
London for me is one of the things that is very London for me is you.
Really?
Yes.
I feel flattered.
Because been Roye and meeting you for the first time and that interview which
went crazy.
Which went crazy.
Which was very well timed. We were lucky.
We were lucky.
That the poster came out on that day.
Yeah.
Let's go through today's interview looking back at some of your best films, your most iconic films.
Sure.
Because you've been in this industry for over 10 years. You were VJing in 2006, I believe.
2007.
2007 is when you started. Your first film was 2011.
Yes.
So that's almost a decade of work in films as well.
Absolutely.
So let's go through them, okay?
Yes.
Let's start
with
2011, which was your debut film, Ball, and this song, Hona Tha Pyar. What comes to your mind when I play this?
Look at me. What comes to my mind? Innocence. Silly.
Who was the
stupid.
Mahira Khan back here?
Look at her. I can't even... she was so innocent.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know,
when I say that, like I was younger. By the way, Aslan was born, by the way.
So this is, I just learnt this a couple of days ago, that this was, or you got the call from Shoaib Mansoor, how many days after?
A few days after Aslan was born.
Wow.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, no, I'm not going to say yes to you right now. I have a child in my arms as we speak. And he said, well, do whatever you have to do. Ask whoever you want to ask, just let me know. And so I said, you know, you give me a few days. And he said, a few days? I said, yeah, a few days. And then I called him back and so throughout all of this Hona Tha Pyar, Aslan was around. In my arms, literally. We would be doing this and then I would go back to my hotel room, go home, feed him and then come back. It was just, but I look at this and I think, babies.
You know, this image,
Look at Atif.
How young does he look as well in this? There's a bit of puppy fat on Atif
And we
Aslam
both,
that doesn't exist anymore.
Me too. Both of us were like this. But look at us, my God. And we had such a nice time. And I think the reason why I have a very special bond with Atif, which, I mean, we don't talk for so long. And then when we meet, there's this connection. And it has a lot to do with Bol.
You know, also, Atif was a bigger star. Obviously, he was a star. You weren't a star at this time. But you knew him because you'd interviewed him as a VJ.
Yes.
How was that dynamic on set? Were you nervous working with him?
No, not at all. I was just so happy that I'm getting to act, you know, in a Shoaib Mansoor film. Yeah. And yes, I would get nervous because I used to be like, you know, I used to go to Shoaib Sahab and bug him and be like, can I do this again? And he would be like, no, just go back, you've done it right. Because obviously he was handling all the main leads, you know, and of course myself as well, but you know, I was one of the sisters and stuff like that. But we had so much fun, Haroon, me, Atif, the entire cast and crew. We used to go up on the chat and we would just chill there and he would sing songs and what a good time.
This image, this plain girl with hardly any makeup, plain clothes, this image stuck with you for years. And Humsafar didn't help matters. It only enhanced this image.
Well, actually, yes. Actually, Humsafar, this is the same year as Humsafar. So Bold came out in, I think, June.
2011.
Yeah, but June or July of 2011. Yeah. And Humsafar came out September, I think, of 2011. So it was the same year and Humsafar just sort of sealed the deal on it.
But people thought that you were this girl.
Yes.
For a long time.
Yes.
Was it hard to break that mold?
No, I think, well, maybe. It wasn't hard to break that mold. It was just hard to sort of be myself because I am not this girl. Yeah. I am a lot like her, though, I have to say. I'm a lot like Khirat. A lot. Yeah. People don't believe it when I say that, but I am. There's a way about Khirat which is exactly me. I put in whoever I was. I was not that good back then.
But that people think you were spectacular. People still say that was your best performance to date.
That's because it was the most successful project to date. Right. I don't think that's true. But if they do say that that's my best performance till date, then it's just me being me. Right. There was nothing else I could do. I had no tools as far as an actor is concerned, you know. I just knew that, let me do it like me. let me be honest to this. Oh my God, so there's no Humsafar in here?
No, we're just doing films
Oh,
today.
we're just doing films?
Yes. So what had Mahira Khan learnt by this point? What does she know now that she didn't know when she was doing Ball, for example?
What I think I knew by the time I came to Bin Roye.
Yeah.
Bin Roye, I think, if someone told me Bin Roye is my best performance to date, I would be like, okay.
Really?
Yes.
What was it about Bin Roye that you thought was...
It was just, it was a film that sort of laid on my shoulders completely. Yeah. And it was a very difficult role to play. She wasn't like Khired. No. Khired, you fall in love with like this.
Yeah, well, this is a flawed woman who fancies her cousin, who is married to her other cousin.
To her sister.
Yeah,
and
to her sister, yeah.
She was a very flawed character. And in those flaws, I had to make a hero out of her. I had to make you sympathize with her. And that was tough for me, you know, because by the end of when the interval hits and she shouts and screams and prays to God that kill my sister, the audience, this is at least what I thought that I need to do. The audience has to scream and shout with me and say, yeah, kill the sister.
Do you think you achieved that?
I don't know. That the audience decides.
You know, obviously, the first time we met was Bin Roye. And so this holds... I actually love this because of our interaction at the time. But you were a superstar, Mahira, but you weren't behaving like a superstar. You had no trappings of a superstar whatsoever. Had you come to terms...
Still don't. Do I?
You still don't. No, you still don't.
Yeah.
But even at that point, you didn't. Had you come to terms with your fame?
No. I don't think I still have. I don't know. That's so strange, isn't it?
Because you know how famous you are. And if you don't, people tell you around you how famous you are.
Yes, people do tell me. And then when I leave my, you know, sometimes, like people do tell me, my manager tells me that there are times where you just suddenly become, you know, it's a switch on sort of film.
So you can play the part?
I can play the part.
Everything I remember from that interview with you, or that day with you, we spent quite a bit of time together, was your poise, your decorum, your elegance, your grace. These are all the qualities that people have loved about you.
Thank you.
Do those things come naturally to you, or is that part of being the star?
So it's really weird. It's really strange for me, you know. There are times that I'm sitting and people tell me, "Oh, you're so poised and you're so elegant," and I'm like, okay. And because in my own personal life, or even when I'm on set, and if you ask Bilal or any of these guys, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm a jelly, you know, crazy," and like, so it's really strange for me. But I remember once I was asking Asim, I was like, Asim, you know, in fact, Hum and Jahan, I asked Asim, I said, Asim, do you want me to play this like myself, like a real, like a boy?
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And he said, you're not a tomboy. And I've heard that, so it's very strange for me when I hear it from a lot of people that I'm like a...
elegant and
yeah,
classy.
and then there are people who say, so I don't know if it's two different sides to me, but Asim always says that no matter how much fun you're having, or if you, because all of us get together and I'm usually with the boys and I'm like, yeah, I'll fight you on this and I'll do this. And he's like, no matter what is going on, your hands still go back into a more graceful graceful position. I'm like, really? That's so strange. My makeup artist, on the other hand, says that I am all over the place till the camera is on. Right. And the minute the camera is on, he says, it's amazing what happens to you. You become a different person. So I don't know.
I've seen you on and off screen. I understand the free-spiritedness with which you behave, but I also understand the grace that comes when the camera switch on. So I can...
I think that's what it is, but because I don't know if I should be the free spirit that I am on camera.
We're being told 5 minutes, Mahira. What are we going to do? Let's just keep going.
Yeah, we're going. We keep going. No, this is going to... This we can't end. Mwah.
You know, Mahira, I don't think...
Look at him.
Or you appreciated this film to its fullest when it released.
Yes, I have to agree.
When I watch this now, I think, wow, Mahira Khan was sharing the screen with Shah Rukh Khan. What an achievement. But at the time, I remember
was too many other things.
At least it just released. I remember that being my first thing. At least it just released. Do you get to appreciate this now?
No. I don't think this has been appreciated enough by me. Forget anybody else. I mean, can you imagine? This happened.
Was Raees a bittersweet experience?
Yes, I've said that before, and I'll always say that it was a bittersweet experience. But then, isn't everything that is amazing a bittersweet experience? All the massive love of your lives become bittersweet experiences, I feel. So this is like that for me. But you know, when people show me this, I'm just like, I mean, and you're showing me this, I haven't seen this in so long. So it feels really amazing. Oh, by the way, this gave me a lot of kicks. I got a kick out of signing the Nikah. Oh, I got such a kick out of it.
You know, you maintained a silence throughout the making of Raees. Even when I interviewed you at the time, you were very limited with how much you spoke about it. Do you regret that now? Because you didn't get to celebrate it properly at its release either.
Wow, you're asking me such good questions. Yes, I don't know if I regret it, but now that I think about it, I was being so...
I understand.
Yeah, I was being like, it's mine, let's wait, because when it'll release, I will, I knew that me and Shah Rukh would have had so much fun promoting it and talking about what happened and this and that. But yeah, I guess I just never got to talk about it prior to or post the film release.
Everybody kept talking to you about the missed opportunity of Bollywood.
Yes.
Nobody spoke about actually reimbursing yourself into the Pakistani entertainment scene. How tough was it personally? Because I've spoken to Mahira Hussain about this, and she's very honest about the logistics of it. That I went from a film set, Sanam Teri Kasam, where I had 20 people who were focused just on me, to shooting Sami, where I was by myself, and in far more restricted settings, almost.
Okay, so maybe that was her experience. Mine was not that. I had already, I didn't know that we were, all of that stuff was going to happen politically. So, but I was, prior to Raees releasing and prior to everything going down, I'd already signed Varna. Right. So I was already going to start Varna, and I knew what was going to happen with Varna, that there are going to be 20 people on set max. Yeah. And I will have to make my own coffee and my own chai and all of that. I didn't have 20 people with me on Raees' set, though.
You didn't?
No.
Eros has a bigger budget, I think,
maybe. No, it was so chill. It was just so chill. I enjoyed myself. Honestly, it wasn't difficult for me to make the shift at all. Yeah, because I had decided this was maybe because in my head, I always knew that I will be working in both countries.
And I don't think you ever took it for granted that Bollywood was going to open up so many more doors later on either.
Oh, no. I mean, because what happens is you start getting offers. So you know that there's going to be more.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did. I had a lot of things that were offered to me, but I just knew that my work in that industry as well as this industry will have to be balanced. For some reason, I always knew that. I always felt like I'm always going to do a film here and a film there, that kind of a thing. That wasn't the tough part. I think the toughest part for me, and I've said that before, was just not being able to enjoy this fully. Future, all of that, what I lost, what prospects, that doesn't matter. This mattered for me.
Well, I mean, I appreciate it now watching.
I know, I should appreciate it now too.
This is, of course, a beautiful song. Tell me about More Saiyan.
More Saiyan also makes me emotional. It's just such a special song. This is, I think, an ode to my friendship with Asim and my relationship with Asim that I've had for oh my God.
You look beautiful, Mahira. You look absolutely beautiful. I mean, I don't think anybody could have presented you better than this in a Pakistani film.
Oh, yeah.
Not even Pakistani film, just generally.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, have you seen you haven't seen the full song? Oh my God, you have to watch the full song.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things where me and Asim have always spoken about these kind of songs and we've loved them. So this was our tribute to ourselves, to our friendship. And I remember when I got on the set, I was crying. It was an emotional sort of a moment. My entire crew, whether it's Hina or Hani or Sherazad, it was just one big crew crying, and I was very emotional because I wasn't well. Right. So my right hand side, which is the one I had to use the most, was constantly dropping.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well, you can't see that.
Well, yeah. I hope
really
not.
good to white your hair.
Ooh.
I see a far more unapologetic
Yes.
Mahira Khan
Yes.
than ever before. What's the change?
Oh, I'm older. I'm older. I'm more comfortable in my skin, and this role required it. This dance required me to go all out. I mean, I don't even think I'm going all out, to be honest. But for me, it is all out.
But not just on screen, as a human being as well. I saw you on the Lux Style Awards red carpet. We were there, and I felt like you're no longer apologetic about being who you are. Is that fair to say?
Maybe.
Is that because there's nothing left to lose?
Wow, you're asking me some heavy questions. There's always something left to lose. There's always something left. I mean, I know there's lots, Allah na kare, that anything more goes, but yes, in a way, yes. What can happen? You know, this is now, yes, I've become a little bit more like, okay, this is me. This is how I want to be. I am going to be less apologetic, because there was a time where I was constantly like, sorry about the way I look, sorry about the way I am, sorry that, you know, that there were times where I used to feel, oh my God, is this doing well? Maybe I should not talk about it so much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I have become a little bit less, I don't know. I've become more comfortable with who I am.
I already loved Mahira Khan. I love her even more in this new, I think, phase of her life and career.
Thank you.
So I look forward to so much more, Mahira. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This was amazing. Thank you.
Asian Network.